declared an unlawful assembly. Pursuant to ORS 166025, you're all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include intact munitions. Declared an unlawful
Yeah, fuck you! No more back in the blue! Yeah, fuck you! No more back in the blue! Who tackled him? Slow push it in. Slow push it in.
Guys, you start going that way.
Hold the line! Hold the line!
Dress the line! But you can't take no, huh? They probably feel like badasses.
Yeah, I think that's the second of this.
Fucking shit.
Go! Come on! Hey! 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 Run, motherfucker, run!
Brother, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This shit.
Hey, if you're not intending to do that, make sure that that thing is not pointed in my direction.
Hey, that's fucking. Brother, that's what I'm talking about.
Fuck your people! Keep going. Keep going.
Sidewalk. It's a public sidewalk. There's no riot.
We're fucking moving, dick! Fuck that! You ain't gonna fucking shoot me, you fucking cocksucker! Step forward! Get back! You're fucking empty!
unlawful assembly pursuant to ORS 166025. You're all commanded to disperse from this location immediately.
Who the fuck do you work for? Us! I stand your fucking flashlight? We pay you guys! We stand for you! And you fucking shoot at us? Unfucking real! Fuck the blue! You guys are just as bad as those fucking commies! Unfucking believable! Fuck the blue!
Come on, bro, we need some parachute, guys. Come on, where's some American spirit? Who got the better lighter than this?
We're coming. Jesus Christ!
Failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact munitions and up to tear gas.
All right, Kevin, we're gonna have to pick a side. We were on yours. Ten fucking months in a row I've fought for you against the very people that fucking want to take your fucking jobs. See fucking, I'll do it again, and you're making it fucking hard. What are you gonna do? Beat me with your fucking baton? Unarmed ain't done shit. Stamp on that fucking flag.
Yeah, I'm cool.
And then we're gonna burn it.
I'll take it for you.
Yeah. And then we're gonna burn that.
Hey, can I say something before y'all do that? That is an American flag. Listen, it's a symbol.
That is not an American flag. An American flag has nothing else on it. That is not an American flag.
I fallen officers, not these. These fuckers have fallen. They have
This is not an American flag, and we're gonna burn it. Come up with money right now to get you over
They
there
have
now.
fallen.
Yeah.
No, I know, I get it. That is it. They are the skirt. They're just like that.
Anybody want to walk on this? There you go. Fuck you.
For walking on us today.
Yeah. I've been there for you all fucking summer. Fuck you. Fuck every one of you. Fuck you. Been there for you all fucking year.
Only one punishment for treason. Treasonous.
Fuck the blue. Fuck
Treasonous
you.
ants. Fuck you! You swore an oath! You have failed that oath today! You are treasonous! You might as well say fuck you! Coward! Go home! Go home, Salem Police Department! Tell your wife and
You probably already know how I feel about this, but I have to add this narration because my videos keep getting booted, so the narration is necessary. In the last month or two, I've had an influx of subscribers, and I've also had a couple of videos that, you know, they didn't go viral, but they got pretty popular and got a lot more views than my normal stuff. So just about every one of those has gotten kicked off, and I've had to appeal to get it back on. I'd also throw in there that, you know, I hear people talking all the time about how they're having problems with YouTube, how they're getting shadow banned and stuff like that, or how they're losing subscribers. And I got a couple of people who I subscribe to that I've had to resubscribe to. What happens more so though is that the subscription stays, but it goes from where I have them noted as I want all notifications down to, you know, like only some of them. But I'll tell you what's happened to me, just because it's, I can't believe it. So you can see I don't have very many subs. I mean, I have like 600, which is cool, but I mean, that's not like some people have 100,000 or millions, right? 600 subs. And when I put a new video up, in the last couple of weeks, since I've started to gain traction and have some videos that I've gotten where I get 10,000 views or something in the last couple of weeks, then when I put up a video that's of, say, my editorializing narration or something, I'll put it up on this platform and I'll put it up on BitChute at the same time. And on BitChute, I think I just started that channel, so I've got like 8 subs. Okay, and the video on this channel will get maybe 20 views in 24 hours, and on BitChute I'll get 150 views in 24 hours. I have 600 and some subscribers. Well, I had 670, and then it dropped down to, one day it just went down to 640. I lost like 30 subs in one day. So unless I really pissed 30 people off, just wanted to say that. All right, so real quick, what do I think about this? I think this is I got a mixed feeling about this. I'm happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy because I've been saying this for months. I'm not happy because the reality of what this means is bad. There's no right answer here, no correct answer. I mean, as far as what do you do, how to handle it, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just want to say again, you know, I don't really feel much narration is necessary for this, so thank you for putting up with that. I just, I got to have this on here so that I can appeal. How do you handle this? Well, I mean, what do you do? I guess it doesn't. So first of all, it matters on whether or not you are a standalone patriot, a mega supporter, part of any kind of group, or just with the people in your neighborhood. I mean, let's just put it like this. I've seen this disturbing new trend where Antifa and BLM are now starting to get actual charges in court. This has to do with what Ted Wheeler said. Check out my video on that. But this is the position that I think a lot of cities and DAs and mayors are going to take now, that they're going to crack down on them. I've seen some BLM are facing real time for some stuff that they did to people, assaults, whereas before they were just, you know, pretty much being let go. So why is this disturbing? Because it just means that we will no longer be able to point out the hypocrisy and use it to be able to say, dude, how come they get to get away with just punching people? How come they get to get away with all this shit? And the reason that they're cracking down is because they feel that in a few days Biden will be in the White House, and also because they see that patriots are saying all over the country, hey, Antifa and BLM get away with this shit. So why the fuck can't we? Why can't we do some of this stuff? They wear masks all the time. People don't know who they are. They go out, they get violent, or at the very least, they get in police's faces and talk shit to them. So why can't we? Well, now that they're seeing that somebody else is doing this too, now it's not okay anymore. Be assured, if you show up, not only are they going to have harder gloves with you, you might even get put on a list. There's a lot of talk about lists lately. You know, AOC started that shit with her fucking tweet. She talked about before that you know, people who supported Trump should be put on a list. And then, to an extent, Cynthia Johnson, in that same vein as you Trump supporters better tread lightly. I already talked about that too. So I'm not going to go over it again. Go watch those videos if you haven't seen them. In fact, the Cynthia Johnson video is one of the reasons that I had to put this narration in here, because when I put her video up of just her talking, it got kicked off of the channel, and they told me it was for community guidelines, and they said it had something to do with bullying or inciting violence or something like that. And I replied back with an appeal saying, dude, all I'm doing is broadcasting the news. I didn't advocate for violence or say anything like that. I was just showing what somebody else said. Plus, a lot of other people have the same footage up, and they replied to my appeal in a record less than 5 minutes, saying, nope, not happening. So I had to put the video back up, and instead of being like a minute long, this one was 7 minutes long, because I had to include a ton of my opinion in what happened in order for them to allow it to stay up there. I don't really understand how that's that different. The footage is no longer offensive if you're putting it in context, but that seems to be currently what the rule is, or what the popular way is, so I gotta do the same thing here. After Cynthia Johnson, then, oh man, what was it just the other day? Let me think about it. Well, there were a couple other mentions of lists. I think the one that was sticking in my head was some lady that's part of a BLM sister group. I don't remember what the name, but you know, a lot of the BLM chapters have names like, you know, whatever. They sound like the African warlords, you know, Minneapolis Liberation Front or something. Like they're a chapter of BLM. Like they have these chapter names. This was a lady from some chapter, and she had said that she wanted to create a, quote, racist list, so that if you have ever done anything racist, which I'd like to know what that means, or if you were ever accused of anything racist, and she was very clear in including, this would also include microaggressions, perceived racism, and racist acts that prevent brown people from advancement, social, economic. If you do any of this, you are to be put on a list. And if you thought that was bad enough, because that's bad enough besides being ridiculous, she also said that this list should be used by employers. That if you are employed and you do whatever this act or say whatever these words or think whatever this thought crime is, not only should you be put on a list for future employers to blackball you, but you should lose your employment. You should also lose your housing. And this list should be available to everybody who is a landlord everywhere in the country, so that they can know before renting to you that they shouldn't rent to you. Now, her idea may seem extreme to a rational person, especially when you take 10 seconds to think, well, what are the definitions of all this stuff? But the truth is, in case anybody's forgot, I'm sure there are people who forgot, this is still America, and there's still free speech. You can be as racist as you want to. You can't hurt somebody. But you can be as racist as you fucking want to. You can say whatever the hell you want. Might not always be in good taste. Might not be popular among people that are around you when you say it, but you still have the freedom to do that. I mean, on paper you do. As we're seeing, that's going away. So my point is, with a list like this, even if a person is racist, who cares? Who fucking cares? I mean, what does that have to do with their ability to do a job? Because racism did start a week ago. So there are plenty of scenarios in which people of opposite races work together and function just fine. Further, this list and her explanation of it basically says that it's impossible for anyone but someone who is white to be racist. Just in case you were thinking, well, yeah, this sucks, I don't agree with it. However, at least this will make it so that anybody who is black and does something racist towards someone who's Mexican or does something racist towards someone who's white will be on there too. No, they won't. Because only white people are capable of this racism. Now, I don't know how long it would take for them to decide that Mexicans go on that list too, if they say something about black people, or Mexicans go on that list if they say something about Asians, etc. down the line. I don't know how much longer that'll take, but it'll get there. Of course it'll get there. This idea of making a list, which is, by the way, it's a classic sign of fascism, but this idea has been floated around there by several people, some of them prominent. So I really don't like the way this is heading. So essentially we're kind of fucked when it comes to police, everywhere. MAGA people, patriots, militia, right-leaning, etc. It's not just anti-mask people, I guess. It's not just going to be that crowd. Honestly, Antifa and the BLM are fucked too. And it's going to get bad for everybody. This is where I said before, my enemy's enemy is my friend. That's an old adage. I'm not sure who to credit that to. But there's some ideas to explore there. Now, only a certain amount of that can be done because of the intolerable beliefs of the majority of Antifa. The X factor here is going to be the military. And under a Trump administration, even if you don't believe that a lot of the military are actually patriots, you can still believe that the military are not going to be instructed to open fire on regular citizens. But that's not how it's going to be with the police. The police are going to do whatever their director from their mayor or DA or chief is. And this is going to be increasingly difficult for people who want to go to who want to organize and go to any kind of protest or rally. Opposition will show up. Police will do this crowd disbursement shit that they've done in the past, and there's no right way to handle it. I mean, you can be the guy who says, well, we just talked to him, and tell them what we're doing and why we're there, and that should be okay. And if we follow all the laws, stay out of the street, etc., shouldn't be a problem. You can try that, but it's not going to make a difference. They're there to bust up the party. They're going to bust it up no matter what. The X factor is the military. And I say this because I've seen some videos of some people in the military who are quite anti-free speech and anti-patriot. And then it doesn't take any kind of brains to understand that you can be in the military and not like Trump. It's possible. Without being anti-patriot or anti-people who want to have investigation done with the election or etc. What I've been seeing though from some videos made by people who claim they are in the military, as well as from some videos where I've seen people who are in the military just acting crazy, just in uniform, in the middle of drills and stuff, start twerking and doing weird shit like. Like some of these videos, I wish I had a couple of them. I don't have them handy, but some of these, I wondered if this was a troll or was there something else going on? But in the end, you're in a uniform and you're representing the military. There is no point at which that's appropriate. None. And if you don't, what I can do to emphasize that point is I can show you a video of the Russian military. I'll just show you. See that's incredible. That's a military you respect. So many of these people claim they're in the military and they get out of their cars and yell at MAGA people while they're driving down the road, while they're wearing their gear.
Wow. Shame on you.
They get out of the car and do that, or when they're in military formation and they start to twerk or do other silly shit. These are people that, I mean, they just, no, you're not a patriot. You're in the military to be militant, and if you can't maintain that composure, and I hear more and more about people who join just to get college money, which there's nothing wrong with joining for a purpose like that, you should, but going in there planning on doing absolutely the bare minimum, not being open to doing any more service than what is absolutely necessary to get your college money, and I'd have to speculate, essentially, any time that you are not directly given an order, you're not doing anything to help. That's just not the way that a person's mindset should be when they join the military, because military is a serious thing. Your protection for the country, which includes people you don't like, but it also includes people in your family, people you do like. You're representative to the world, what they think of us, and the weaker or more silly our military looks, the more likely that the impression upon other nations is going to be one of, man, we can fuck with them if we want, because look at what their soldiers look like. It ain't the way to represent. Let's refer again to that video of the Russian military, and that may have been special forces, but so what? It's fucking boss. They're not leaking videos of people in the military who are going on diatribes on their own personal social media talking about how I can't even fucking talk about it. The shit just gets me so mad. So the military is the X factor. How many of them are actually patriots, and how many of them are the kind where they just they're just putting their time in because they have to, and then they're going to get out as soon as they can. Yeah, I think also that story of the National Guard in D.C., that at one point the Guard was called in to stop a BLM protest, and there were a lot of members of the D.C. National Guard that said they're uncomfortable with it. They don't like to have to arrest their own people. What do you mean, Americans? No, that's not what they meant. That's not at all what they meant. And do you see what's wrong with that thought process, with that statement? Do you understand how wrong that is to say that? I don't want to have to arrest my own people. I mean, it's good that they chose to have a morality position. Unfortunately, the only ones who had a morality position were the black ones, whose morality only extended to certain other black American people. It didn't extend to all Americans. So I don't know about the military. Because my point with this is that I wanted people to discuss in the comments, what can we do about this? The police thing is tough. But this entire thing becomes tougher if the military is just to quote a hypothetical. If we have to fight the police, that's difficult, but those are battles that can be won. Some of them will eventually decide to have inaction or join the right side. Some of them won't, and it'll be difficult. But with the military, if the military is against us, we don't stand a chance. So, all right, let's hear it. What do you guys got? What are your ideas? I said in the beginning I was going to put this at the beginning of the video. I'll probably just put this at the end. So if you watched all of the footage and then watched the narration, I appreciate that. Let me remind you also that I am on 2 other platforms. They are in the description. And for the most part, I just duplicate my content to those platforms, though sometimes you do get original stuff there that I can't post here. I made an excellent video. I really thought it was a very good video the other day, and I knew because of the subject matter and some of the things that I was going to say, there was absolutely no way to post it here. It would have gotten flagged and taken down immediately. So I made a 1-minute video saying, hey, I made a new video and you gotta go to this other channel to see it because it wouldn't have made it here. I mean, the video I made the buffer video, trying to get people to go to the other channel, I got like 15 views or something pathetic like that. Part of that is them stepping on my algorithm, and part of that is because, you know, it's just I know it's hard to get you to get anybody to do any extra quote work where you have to, even sometimes subbing is a lot of work. I understand asking you to go to another platform, but it's important, man. If something ever happens to me here, that's going to be the only place you can find me. And additionally, I would say, you know, this is not going to be something that's unique to me. This is going to happen with a lot of people that you know and follow. We've seen people get booted off of Facebook. It doesn't take very long for people who have edgy content to be gone from Facebook. That kind of stuff is going to start happening to YouTube also. I don't want it to. I really like this platform. You know, I like the format and everything, but you got to do it though. So go to the other channel, sub there. All right, that's it. Bye.